Ultimate acts of hospitality. In this Sunday's first reading from 2 Kings, I couldn't help but notice the acts of hospitality that this one woman gave to a total stranger. The story tells of a prophet who would often travel through this small village. And in one of his travels, he met a woman, and she invited him to share a meal with her and her husband. They enjoyed each other so much that she asked him to come back, and that they agreed that whenever he was in town, that he would stop and share a meal with them. They enjoyed each other's visit so much that she turned to her husband and asked him if not only could they share a meal, but if it would be okay to build a room on the top of their roof so that they could not only have a meal together, but that he could have a place to stay for the night. I was intrigued by her actions. I am fortunate to be a part of a house of hospitality. And last December, we had a few seniors from our community come over to celebrate in a meal together. The house was warm and inviting and decorated for Christmas. The table was set for 12, and 12 complete strangers sat down and began to share themselves with one another. They told stories of their childhood Christmases, their experiences of life's ups and downs, their sorrows and their joys, and funny moments that kept us all laughing. I noticed the loving care and listening that everyone at the table seemed to give when someone was talking. It was almost like they were holding each other. They were accepting of one another. And from afar, it almost seemed like a dance. They seemed to know when to lead and when to follow. But most of all, I noticed that even though their stories were different, they were the same. They were okay with being transparent and vulnerable. And they seemed to know that they needed one another, that they were important to each other. When it was time to leave, there was a sense of joy, connectedness, fun, and love for one another. They made each other feel like they belonged. There is this saying, ordinary people do extraordinary things. God lives in all of us. He lived in the woman who opened her door to the prophet, and in the communion of relationships shared at the House of Hospitality. In the weeks to come, how will we challenge ourselves? Are there parts of us that we need to surrender in finding our creativity? How is the Spirit moving us? And how can our experiences and faith keep us moving forward and bringing love to all those around us? Peace be with you.